Once upon a time, deep in a faraway forest, lived three little pigs, three brothers. They looked so much alike, it was almost impossible to tell them apart. Even their names were similar. The youngest was named Nif Nif, the middle brother was Nuf Nuf, and the oldest brother was Naf Naf. All summer long, the little pigs ran and played in the green grass, enjoying the warm sunshine. But lately, the sun began to lose its warmth, and a carpet of yellow leaves covered the forest floor. Autumn had arrived.
It is time for us to build a house.
But his brothers didn't want to start working. They just kept running through the forest.
We still have plenty of time before winter.
When the time comes, I will build a house all by myself.
Suit yourselves. I, for one, have no intention of waiting for the snow to start working.
And they walked away. As the days passed, it grew colder and colder. But Nif Nif and Nuf Nuf still couldn't bring themselves to start working. They wandered aimlessly through the forest, lazing around all day long.
We will play today, but tomorrow we get to work.
But they never kept their promise, and the next day they started all over again, playing, hopping, and rolling around. One morning, however, the little pigs noticed that the big puddle by the road was covered with a thin sheet of ice. Only then did they finally start building. Nif Nif was very lazy, so he thought it would be much simpler to build a little house out of straw. Without any plan or asking for anyone's advice, he got to work. By evening, his hut was ready. Not far away, his brother, Nuf Nuf, was building a similar house, except his was made of twigs. Nuf Nuf tried his best to finish this boring chore as quickly as possible. He drove stakes into the ground, wove twigs around them, covered the roof with branches, and that was it. Hocus pocus, his house was ready in the blink of an eye. He had barely finished his house when Nif Nif darted out from behind a bush.
Let's go see if Naf Naf has finished his house too.
Without thinking twice, the little pigs ran off toward Naf Naf's house. Nif Nif and Nuf Nuf found their brother working hard. He was building a house out of stone and brick with windows, shutters, and doors made of thick oak wood. He had a lot of work to do.
What are you building there? A fortress?
A pig's house must be like a fortress.
And why is that, pray tell? Are you afraid of someone?
We must all watch out for the big bad wolf.
Listen to him. He's afraid of the wolf. He's a coward.
The two lazy and noisy little pigs wanted to tease Naf Naf, but he ignored them. He just kept working. So Nif Nif and Nuf Nuf went off to wander around singing through the forest. Meanwhile, the wolf was resting peacefully in the forest.
Where is all that noise coming from?
Without a second thought, the wolf went to investigate.
What a silly guy, Naf Naf. I mean, who has ever heard of wolves in our forest?
And what if we do meet him? If I see him, I'll grab him by the nose. Snap, just like that.
Suddenly, from behind a thick tree, the big bad wolf himself appeared. His eyes glowed like burning coals, and his fangs were so huge that he couldn't even keep his mouth closed because of them. Seeing him, Nif Nif and Nuf Nuf turned white as sheets and bolted in an instant. They had never run so fast in their lives. They ran like the wind, leaving little clouds of dust behind them. Nif Nif, who the wolf was chasing, reached his straw house first. He dashed inside and locked himself in.
Open the door. If you don't, I will huff and puff with all my might, and your house will turn into tiny pieces.
The wolf didn't waste any time. He took a deep breath and blew. Poof! Once, twice, and when he blew for the third time, Nif Nif's house flew in all directions as if blown away by a hurricane. The wolf was just about to grab the youngest brother, but Nif Nif ran for his life. Before long, he reached the house of the middle brother, Nuf Nuf. The two brothers had barely managed to close the door behind them when they heard the wolf's voice again.
What a stroke of luck. Now I'm going to eat you both.
And he began to blow again. However, Nuf Nuf's house of twigs was a bit sturdier. After 2 rounds of blowing, it leaned slightly. But the big bad wolf wouldn't give up so easily. He huffed and puffed 3 times in a row. Then, when he blew for the 4th time, the house collapsed. Terrified, the little pigs ran for it once again. They dashed in a wild frenzy toward the house of their oldest brother, Naf Naf. When they arrived, more dead than alive, Naf Naf let them inside and bolted the door behind them. He guessed that his younger brothers were being chased by the wolf, but he knew they had nothing to fear in his sturdy brick house. Before long, there was a loud thud at the door.
Who's there?
Open the door.
No way.
Fine, then I will eat all 3 of you.
With that, he took a deep breath and began to blow. But no matter how hard he huffed and puffed, not even the smallest stone moved an inch. From all the effort, the wolf turned blue in the face, but Naf-Naf's house remained rock solid. Angry, the wolf was just about to leave, but looking up, he spotted the chimney on the roof.
That's how I can get into the house.
First, he carefully climbed onto the roof. Then he began to climb down the chimney, licking his chops at the thought of the little pigs. But Naf-Naf heard a rustling sound and saw soot falling onto the lid of the cauldron boiling on the fire, so he prepared to welcome his uninvited guest properly. He set the cauldron's lid aside and waited. It didn't take long before the wolf, black as a chimney sweep, fell straight into the cauldron of boiling water. Never in his life had he felt such a terrible pain. With a savage howl, the big, bad, and now scolded wolf shot back up the chimney, rolled across the roof, crashed onto the ground, and disappeared into the forest. From then on, the three brothers, Nif-Nif, Nuf-Nuf, and Naf-Naf, lived together in perfect harmony under the same roof, the roof of the sturdy brick house.
Thank you for watching. If you liked the story, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more beautiful stories. See you again soon.